Have you seen the 2014 film Nightcrawler? It's so much more than just a chilling thriller. It's this razor-sharp critique of our modern media landscape, and it holds up a really dark mirror to the world we live in. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack the unsettling mechanics at play. At the center of this whole story is Lou Bloom, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and he is not your typical movie villain, not at all. He's something way more terrifying. He's a logical product of our ambition-obsessed hustle culture. He speaks in all this corporate jargon and these self-help mantras, but he applies them to a world where ethics just don't exist. And that right there, that really gets us to the central question of the entire film, and it's what we're going to explore. When that drive to succeed is completely disconnected from any sense of morality, what kind of world does that create?
Okay, so the film kicks off by dissecting one of society's most cherished ideas, the American dream. But in Lou Bloom's world, oh man, it's been twisted into something almost unrecognizable.
This right here lays out the core rules of this corrupted success story. It taps into this deep anxiety about modern capitalism, doesn't it? The idea that in a hyper-competitive world, maybe getting ahead isn't about hard work and integrity anymore. Maybe it's just about being willing to do whatever it takes to exploit anyone and to abandon ethics completely. But here's the thing, Lou Bloom doesn't operate in a vacuum. He finds a system that is perfectly designed to reward his very specific and terrifying set of skills. And that system? It's the local television news market, which runs on a simple, brutal principle.
Sensationalism. This is the engine that powers the entire film. See, it's not about informing the public, it's about grabbing their attention. And what's the easiest way to do that? Through shock, fear, and tragedy. The more visceral the content is, the more valuable it becomes.
And this comparison just illustrates the conflict so brilliantly. On one side, you have the ideals of journalism, to inform people, to provide context, to serve the public good. And on the other side, you have the reality of the news station in the film, where the only things that matter are ratings and profit. What this shows is that the system itself is already broken. Lou just figures out how to game it.
Now, the logic of this system builds into something even more disturbing. When profit is prioritized over people, the entire structure starts to mirror the traits of a psychopath, a complete and total lack of empathy.
This is what the source material calls corporate psychopathy. And it's not just about one person being evil, it's about an entire structure that actually incentivizes detached, unemotional decision-making. Human tragedy stops being a human event, and it becomes a product, a commodity to be packaged and sold.
Just look at how Lou operates. It's not chaotic, it's a cold, calculated business plan. Step 1, he identifies a market need for shocking content. Step 2, he acquires the asset, which is just footage of human suffering. Step 3, he removes the cost, which is empathy. And step 4, he sells to the highest bidder. I mean, he's the perfect entrepreneur for a psychopathic system.
And this system doesn't just exist in the abstract. No, it has a real human cost. It creates this chain of exploitation where everyone is either using someone else or being used themselves. And at the heart of all this exploitation is Lou's camera. You see, he doesn't just record events, he stages them. He manipulates crime scenes, he manipulates people, all to get the perfect shot. The camera becomes his weapon, giving him power and control over every single situation. This slide just maps out the whole toxic ecosystem perfectly. You see it, right? The news director, Nina, she exploits Lou for his shocking footage to save her job. Lou, in turn, brutally exploits his desperate assistant, Rick. And the entire system feeds on the ultimate exploited party, the victims of tragedy, whose worst moments become our entertainment. But the film saves its most uncomfortable critique for last. It argues that this entire broken, unethical machine is missing one key component to function. And without this final piece, the whole thing just falls apart. Think about it. Lou can film the footage, Nina can broadcast it, but it's all completely meaningless without this one last piece of the puzzle. That's right. The final ingredient is us. The film turns the camera around, away from the screen, and it points it directly at the audience. The final ingredient is our attention. And this chart really shows the brutal truth of the film's argument. As much as we can blame unethical creators like Lou or profit-hungry executives like Nina, the primary driver of this entire engine is viewer demand. We are the market. So at the end of the day, Lou Bloom isn't a monster who appeared out of nowhere. He is the logical result of a market that we created. Our collective hunger for the sensational, our desire to watch, creates the demand that people like him are more than happy to supply. And that's the truly haunting question Nightcrawler leaves us with. It forces us to examine our own media consumption. So the next time you watch, the next time you click, just ask yourself, are you seeking to be informed, or are you just feeding the very machine that creates the monsters?